in from Carroll County all the way through Fort Smith, Van Buren, and into Poto too. We have one section that's still severe, mainly due to hail. This is the actual front that's passing on through the colder air. As the colder air surges forward, we get more of that hail risk, and so that's what we're tracking right now is some hail across Fort Smith and Van Buren. Now it's mainly east of Fort Smith. We still have some leftover rain and rumbles across downtown Fort Smith. This is a live look in Bacola. You're looking towards some of those storms off in the distance right now, but the warning has been trimmed. No longer is anything severe in Oklahoma. This is just for Arkansas. So let's take a closer look at the severe storm pushing eastbound. We've got a hail risk that's coming into the Alma area right now. You see, look, the latest scan is kind of downtrended just a little bit, but we have some hail coming in from Kibler into Alma, Dean Springs. We've got some hail tracking into. So this will continue to move east towards Dyer. Mulberry, the latest track, takes it at 55 miles per hour. Dyer at 709, 715 in Mulberry, and then 718. I mean, we're just traveling right along the interstate at this point, and then Highway 64. So Alma, we've got some right over downtown. You head south all the way to the Walmart, north all the way to the aquatic park and the Lake Alma as well. That's where we're getting some of this hail. We've got, it looks like about pea-sized hail. Don't be surprised if this warning is maybe one of the last warnings. You know, a lot of times these hail cores, they like to cycle a little bit, and so it looks like we've got the latest trend just downtrending just a little bit. But right there at the intersection of I-40 and I-49, we have some hail. We've got some hail all around Alma right now. Pea-sized hail, it looks like, anywhere from the intermediate school, which is just off the interstate, actually, and you got the track east towards the Catfish Hole. You go northbound towards the Auto Center, the Russell Auto Group. You got any Infinity Sports, and then even if you head south, right there along 162, coming out of Fayetteville Avenue. We've got some hail also reported there coming towards the farmers market, which is just on the south side of 64. And then you go into downtown Alma. Maybe the latest scan even upticks it just a little bit there on the southeast side. Looks like this thing is now pushing across, let's see, Highway 64 coming out of Alma. You go eastbound, you pass the Alma Primary School, and we've got some hail reporting for you guys. This thing will continue to move east, though, towards Dyer. Dyer, we're kind of next. We've got the River Valley Golf course. We could get some hail here very shortly. And then you go past Ridge Road and then head right into Dyer. Dyer would be next with some of this hail, just something to track as everything pushes east. This is a look at some of the wind. We've got some wind, but definitely has been a down trend on the wind. When we get close to the radar, though, it does get a little bit messy, especially on the north and south side of the radar beam. But we do have some wind, but it has also started to weaken a little bit. That wind is kind of ahead of the hail core. So as this storm pushes east, you get the wind picking up, and then you could get some small hail air on the backside. But this thing's all trying to travel close to the Arkansas River. If you live, you know, within 10 miles of the river, you've got some wind, you've got some rain, you got some lightning too. You've got a couple strikes of lightning coming into Mulberry right now. So it'd be Dyer. Then you head past the exit there with I-40, the shortstop, and then the Dollar General as you head eastbound to Mulberry, all along Highway 64 is where we're watching this wind just continue to pass on through. This is live look in Fort Smith. We just had that severe storm pass on through. We had some wind. We had some pockets of hail. It looked like most of the hail was on the north side of the river, so that'd be Van Buren, right up and down Fayetteville Road. We had some hail, it looked like. Let us know if you picked up some hail. Let us know if you have any pictures of some of the hail that could possibly have been out there. But traffic's now kind of going back to normal now, as we still have some light sprinkles out there, but the storm is pushing it kind of into the screen, farther off in the distance towards Dyer and Mulberry. This is once again a look at that hail core. It looks like the hail core is now pretty much left Alma and it's coming right into Dyer. Dyer and then Mulberry. You'll be next with some of this hail. So something to watch. Here's a closer look without some of the tracks going right down 64. So Dyer, Mulberry will be next. We've had some north of the Interstate 2, Dean Springs. We start to get kind of rural once you head northbound. Anywhere across Georgia Ridge Road, which is just north, and then Georgia Ridge Road comes down south, meets I-40 there at the exit with the shortstop, and then you hit the Dollar General with Arrow 64 right there at that exit, right along I-40. This will continue to move east. We'll see if more warnings are extended off towards the east as well. But this is a small hail pocket coming in, maybe up to quarter size. A lot of times just pea-sized hail, it looks like, as it's moving east. But Fort Smith, we are no longer in the warning. Van Buren, you're now safe. This warning will continue to be trimmed on its west side. Looks like they're trying to just reissuing the warning there. as they're going to continue to update the aerial space of this warning. But Van Buren, you're good. Fort Smith, you're good. Barling, you're good. Lavaca, you're good. Even Kibler and Alma, we're still starting to wrap up as well. You got an update, Stephen?
There's a tornado possible tag on that warning now.
On this warning now? Okay, good call. All right, this is back to the radar itself. Look at the latest scan. You see that?
Southwest of Mulberry, yeah.
Yep, you see this notch right here. So something to watch. It looks like we have some rotation. It's probably ingesting some of this rotation as the boundary moves east. So this rotation would just be outside of Mulberry. Just something to watch. We'll see if this continues to strengthen, this rotation that you hear, kind of the C shape. And then right here on the south side is where you'll be watching. If you could hit maybe the rotation tracker, see what it looks like here on radar. Once again, this is the Mulberry exit. So you're looking towards Riverdale, Dyer, Mulberry. That rotation right in here is where the potential for more rotation could form. We're kind of in the infancy stage right now where you could try to watch some of that rotation. But this thing is moving east there towards Mulberry. So Mulberry, be on lookout. This storm has really picked up its intensity as it's moving east. We don't have as much of the hail pocket as more. It's this core of wind that's now coming out. Now that we're a little bit farther away from the radar, it's a little bit easier to see, but you have this core of wind. Instead of it being more widespread, just kind of a shield of wind, it looks like it's kind of maximized into a core. And so as this core moves forward, there's a potential on the north side now to try to wrap this thing up just a little bit. But severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag, essentially that's kind of a step in between severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning. But that rotation just now on the south side of Mulberry, they're just south of the public library coming out of town. You're looking there just past the public works, and you know where today's bank is right there on the south side of Mulberry. You head south. This is just taking a look at the rotation, still kind of gradual. And would you have an update, control room? Do you have an update? All right, so we have an update. Thank you guys for posting comments. You guys on social media giving us some of these comments really help us in. Then they come into our ear with our controller and our directors. We have some low clouds in the Mulberry area. New scan coming in continues to make this a little bit more of a notch feature that we have, which is not good. You also see an uptick in the lightning in that. That means this thing is starting to strengthen and starting to wrap a little bit more. But right there in the Mulberry area, right over downtown Mulberry, you got the high school there on the southwest side of town, kind of right where we have some of those lightning strikes, and the Marvin Elementary School, which is just south. But there towards the school district in Mulberry, we have some rotation, and then it's moving eastbound along Highway 64. You go past the Mulberry, the Dairy Drip. You guys know what I'm talking about. The tacky sign shop headed east on 64 is where we have that rotation. So anywhere from the fairgrounds to the high schools where we have some of that rotation pushing east. This will be crossing into Franklin County here very shortly. I would now, because of this new feature that's now formed, probably get a new warning that's going to continue off towards the east. Let's go ahead and we want to take a look. Can we take a look at the velocity really quick? If you could switch that, I appreciate it. All right, so you're seeing this bubble, this notch of wind that's gusting east. So there on the north side, sometimes you can maybe start to have the wind slow down, and that's where you get this mechanical turning. So something to watch out in for Mulberry.
You want it stationary? You want it in
Maybe put in motion for a second. I appreciate that, Zach. Got my whole weather team here tracking these storms for you guys this morning. Looks like the latest scan, just a small downtrend in some of those wind speeds. Taking a look. It's about gusting at 53 miles per hour. And then on the north side, you got a 22 miles per hour. So you've got about a 30 mile per hour difference between the north side and the south side. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to wrap things up. We'll continue to give you updates throughout the rest of this morning. We've got to cut into CBS this morning. Oh, keep going for now? Okay, getting updates from the control. Let's go ahead and keep on this storm. The latest scan also shows a bit of a weakening. Just in the radar coverage, you have a little bit less of a notch. All right, so let's go ahead. Again, direction from control. Let's go ahead and wrap. We got to join CBS here in just a moment. Make sure